walked into our new facility. I remember when we first opened, they're like, "This is what I want," and I looked at them. It's just total more money, more problems.
That's 100%. That's 100% what I got from you.
Careful what you wish for.
Yes. And so, and that's why I was curious. Like, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping now, or a little bit?
I get
a
little
more than 6 years ago.
I'm gonna get a solid
or 5 years ago.
Solid 5 hours.
Yeah.
But I've always been an early riser.
Right, busy.
Yeah, I don't know why. Even when we're out like traveling for work, I mean,
we're like, there goes Dad in his freaking sweatpants. See you
yeah,
later.
I don't know if it's nervous energy or anything, but I get a lot of good thinking in the morning.
Yeah, that's great.
And so yeah, I always bring my sweatpants and my tennis shoes, and I'll go for a walk. And I'm a few years older than most of my employees, so I get up and I take a long walk and I kind of clear my head and have a cup of coffee by myself or something like that, and but then I get rolling, and then the thing is I'll end up staying up late. So.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
So
that's awesome.
So I mean, to answer your question, things are still not settled down.
Yeah.
Always crazy. Yeah.
It's always
one
always
of these
hustling.
days.
Yeah. Hustling.
It is, yeah.
Jimmy Walsh.
My man.
So my connection to
Talk about the musician. Who are we talking about?
Jimmy used to work for us. You know Jimmy.
Oh yeah, Jimmy. Okay, got it. Sorry.
so my connection to O'Connor started essentially kind of around the time that you guys kind of started up. I was at ODU. This is like 2000 and I don't know, fucking 7, 8, something like that. And you guys had just come out with like the Green Can and Red Nun. Mm-hmm. Jimmy was also going to ODU at the time, and he was a member in Teak, which is like one of the fraternities that they have at ODU. And I remember Jimmy showing up to the house like once or twice and being like, "Hey,
I stole this beer from the brewery."
Busted. Jimmy busted.
He's like, "Hey man, look, I got this keg, guys. Like, you guys try it out. Let me know what you think of it. Let me tell me what you think of it." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And it was like it was my first introduction
That's cool.
to craft beer.
Yeah.
Was the Green Can and the Red Nun, and I was like hooked on the Green Can is
Gold nail.
yeah. I think I was hooked on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, "Oh God, this is great." This, that, and other. So it's
Hey,
kind of cool.
that's a good transition. It's not like you jumped right into a triple
real
IPA or
culture.
something.
Well, it was that, and then I told the story already about my dogfish story, right?
Yeah.
So like so it was like
Going from Bush Light to Dogfish.
no, it was Natty Light. It was Natty Light, right? And then
30 pack
and then
for $10,
O'Connor,
baby.
It
We
was
all
Natty
remember.
Light, then O'Connor beer, right? And then I was like, you know what? I'm a fucking craft beer guy. Like, I'll try this dogfish, 60-minute, no problem.
Yeah.
Hard stop.
But it's crazy to have it come around full circle though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From plus 10 years ago, to be sitting here right now with the founder of O'Connor.
Yeah, it's neat.
I love it.
It's really neat.
Thank you guys for
Jimmy's great. Jimmy was our first intern, I guess. But the funny thing is, when I met Jimmy, there's so many chain links of family that we already knew each other, which was awesome. Jimmy and I feel very proud about this. When we got going, I was always bringing people in to try, hey, you want to be a brewer? You want to do this?
Do you want to clean floors?
But the thing is, like, just like even like in the restaurant business, I would liken it to, you're going to start as a busboy. You're going to start as
Right, yeah,
dishes. You're going to start here.
We'll move you up.
Yeah,
You gotta
we'll
earn
move
your
up.
way.
Earn your keep.
Yeah.
Jimmy was one of those guys, and I've had about 4 or 5 guys move on to either bigger breweries or grass is greener kind of thing. I always joke, but Jimmy moved to Southern Tier.
Yep.
After 4 years with me, went to Southern Tier, and then he went up to somewhere else in upstate New York. Mm-hmm. We're still really tight. Now he's back in Richmond. He's actually working for the Veil.
Yep.
Right now.
That's cool.
And the head brewer of the Veil used to work for us too.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
He started at O'Connor and then went on his way up to the New England area, Hetty Topper and things like that, Hill Farmstead, and now he's got his own spot going on. When they opened up in Norfolk, right down the street from us, I mean, we went to the family friends night, and it was like literally like a kind of a high school reunion.
Yeah.
That's neat.
And
That's so cool how that is.
Yeah.
Jimmy Logren, who's the head brewer of Smart Mouth.
Oh yeah,
started with
shout
us.
out to Jimmy.
Yeah.
No joke.
Oh
man.
wow,
Yeah.
very cool.
He started with us, and then he went on to Gordon Biersch because I couldn't pay him.
Yeah.
So I called Alan Young, and I was like, "Hey, Alan, do you got any help?" He's like, "Yeah, I could definitely use somebody." So
Yeah.
I said, "This would be the guy."
Right.
And Brian Mandeville left us chasing a girl. I always tell him he went down
This is
to
no holds
He's
barred
at full steam,
podcast.
right?
Full Steam.
Full Steam, yeah.
In Durham, and then now he's back in Richmond at Fine Creek. Chris Knight was one of our packaging guys. He went to Victory. Now he's at Guinness in Maryland.
Wow.
Juan.
That's like a new thing in Maryland too, though, right?
Oh yeah.
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 Guinness
So
is
basically,
like-
everyone's like kind of. Let's start at the O'Connor fraternity.
Well,
That's not a bad thing
But
to
when, we were
know.
the
though.
only
Yeah.
ones, when we were the only ones at the time,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
very easy to bring in people to help. They were eager to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome. That,
Yeah, I think it's incredible.
do I think everybody's going to work for me for the rest of their lives? No.
No,
The
but
only one I know for a fact is going to work for me.
Is your wife?
No. It definitely is me. But I mean, I if you do right by, you do right by me, you do everything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I am totally going to help you get to that next,
Yeah.
what you think your next level is.
Right.
And I'm just very proud that they wanted to get in the business. They and they're flourishing in the business. And
Yeah.
that's what's really cool to see
Yeah.
with me. So.
That's awesome.
that's dope, man. I mean, you're like a solid stepping stone to this whole brewing community.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
and,
seriously,
and like I was saying,
a launch
start-
pad. A launch
Start
pad.
making them
Is
sign non-compete clauses.
Would you take that shit over there?
Note to self. Call my attorney.
Wait a minute.
Hey Siri,
Wait
make a
a
note.
man.
Oh,
Oh no, I was just saying. I love and why people probably respect and love you so much is that you kind of let people flex their creative muscle, and you give them free reign, which I think is so great. And I think more owners and companies can kind of take a page out of your book because you never know what kind of talent you have in your establishment. And if you just let them open up and kind of express something that they're interested in or a good new idea, and it seems like you guys have that at O'Connor, and it's great.
I guess the new ideas, they've always been in our heads and stuff like that. When we moved from the old place to the new place, we had so much extra capacity. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden that capacity gets eaten up by El Guapos and things like
All
that.
all the BBLs.
About 3 years ago, we invested in a 7-barrel pilot system.
a toy for the brewers.
Basically, that's what it was.
That's a toy for the
It
brewers.
literally was. It was like, here you guys go. I want you guys to have fun. I get it. We're a factory now. We're making El Guapo. We still have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's come up with some crazy ideas. Let's have some fun. Then I bought a canning line. Let's do some small batch releases. Let's keep this unique and fun. And I think everything from marketing with graphic design to sales, they have so much more to play with now.
Yeah.
But the brewers really get a chance to just
Keep it fresh.
yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
That way you don't stay stagnant. You know what I mean?
You can't.
You can't.
You wanna
Like you
constantly-
said, I mean, you're constantly visiting new breweries, getting new ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it seems to be that. But breweries are constantly moving into the Hampton Roads area too.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got like a big brewery, like a Vail that moved essentially down the street from you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Makers that just opened up not too long ago. Smart Mouth that just moved in. It was like 2 years ago.
It's only been 2 years. Holy crap!
It might have been
Yeah.
longer than that. You know what I mean?
Smart Mouth has been longer than that. They're
Has it
No,
been
no,
five-
the
five
Virginia
years?
Beach
Virginia
location.
Beach
Yeah,
location.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
about 2, maybe 3 at the most.
You know, but like our craft beer scene, here in Hampton Roads over the past, 10 years has really kind of exploded over the past 5 years.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, where now you have like, some places that are really pulling numbers, like the Back Bay Farmhouse.
Yeah,
You know,
Farmhouse
like,
is doing really well.
they're, I mean, during the summertime, you can't go to that place and it
Right.
be packed.
Right.
And it's just it's. I feel like you have to kind of just stay very innovative, especially
Stay
yeah,
hungry.
like marketing,
Yeah.
stay like
We're
relevant.
thirsty.
Right.
Well,
Or thirsty. Hey,
I think with really any industry, you have to do that now. I mean, it's
Yeah.
one thing if you're IBM and stuff like that.
lots of it.
You can do the same old.
Absolutely.
I'm not pouring it.
With restaurants,
Yeah, we don't want
I mean, with Maya's,
Yeah.
that's an institution. But I thought you guys missed the mark by not opening up with any summer left. But
For sure.
But that's not. I'm not one there running it. I think at the end of the day, but you did. I think you got your ground back, and you got your footing, and it's brand new, and it looks great.
Yeah,
and
looks incredible.
That's those are the things that I think whether you're a brewery, whether you're a restaurant, whether you're, I mean, look at the car dealerships now. They're all getting modernized and things like that. It's an experience in anything you're going to do, and you got to stay fresh and new. You're never going to keep and retain your customers.
Yeah.
Speaking of fresh and new,
Ooh.
what's next up? Anything we can talk about?
As far as like beer for next year?
Sure, beer for next year. Just some general
Ideas,
plans.
events,
Anything? No secrets. Don't give away any trade
Man.
secrets. You know what I'm saying? I know all the people are out there
Did we already
listening.
do that? I don't know. What are you doing?
I can't reach. I got
Can't
short
reach.
arms.
I think the newest thing. Okay, so you were talking about evolving and having to stay relevant and knowing what works for you. Is now the time I tell everybody what we're doing to some of our brands next year.
Oh, don't worry about cracking it. We love the sound.
Ooh, the crack. So we're sitting here talking about evolving, and you have to stay relevant, and you realize when a brand's doing great or a brand's not. So starting next year, we're actually picking 2 of our flagship brands that are no longer going to be distributed outside of the brewery, and they're being replaced with these new brands that I was talking about, like Hip Hop Anonymous.
Oh,
And
yeah.
That
the
green
ones that
I
can
freaking
you
love
like
that
a lot.
name. I'm going to be thinking about that
Like,
later.
I love the name. I can't wait to see what the beer's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
So bad news, we're taking Green Can and Great Dismal out of distribution.
No, I mean,
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
It-
that.
Yeah.
But you're expanding into new.
Right.
I guess I'll just have to
Right.
stick with
You
this
know,
proper lager.
I know.
then.
Damn it! Keep drinking
No
proper
problem.
lager. I know, but I mean it's part of you look at numbers and you go look like. I know Green Can is a huge fan favorite, and it was most people in Hampton Roads. It was their first craft
It was the
beer.
OG.
I remember. So I used to work in restaurants before I came to work for Kevin. I remember when he would walk into my restaurants going, "Do you want to try this new beer? It's called El Guapo." I remember him like coming in and
Yeah.
giving me like testers of new beers.
And imagine if you
like-
hadn't done that, and now
Right.
look at it. It's your bread and butter.
Right, yeah,
Like,
and so, but I mean, it's about evolving, and we'll always have like Green Can and Great Dismal and those because we realize we've grown from these brands. We're never gonna kill them out of our tasting room, but as far as what works in outside sales, we were talking about this earlier, Evan.
Yeah.
You got to find what works, and unfortunately, that style and that brand,
Yeah.
So we're replacing it with something cooler and better. So.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
It
It's
opens
about
up an
evolving,
opportunity.
right? So
Yeah,
then it
so-
just opens up more brands for other consumers. The nowadays craft consumer, it's. You ever heard of Craft Nation? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Rotation Nation.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can kind of like log in, check out everything.
yeah, or
the ticking off.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
it's essentially like tapped or
Yeah, yeah. very
oh,
similar.
you're speaking of. Oh my god, what's it called? I don't use it.
It's untapped, but I mean, it's,
Untapped.
Untapped. Yeah.
that whole thing is all
Alcohol's Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nailed it.
catch them all. I'm just drinking Imperial. These 3 Imperials just to mark them off the list. Totally cool.
I've never been. I mean, I've been on Untapped, but I don't have that app.
Yeah.
I think the challenge with Untapped is that I really don't even think people know what they're drinking. They, I don't. I think it's unfortunately it's the Yelp of beer world right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see things like, death by dessert, 1 cap. I hate
3
Imperial.
stars.
I hate Imperial stuff. I love lagers, and you're just like, what the?
I was going to
What
say,
you
like,
put a opinion on it?
this is sticking up for everybody in the craft brewer world. If
Yeah.
you're on Untapped, and if you're an Untapped consumer, and you don't like Kolsch's, it is not fair for you to go on and say
And talk shit about it.
You know what? Beer was great. But unfortunately, I don't like Kolsch's, so 1 star. You know what?
Right. Right.
Right. It's like, well, then why did you drink it if you know that's
Right.
not your palate? Yeah.
I just remember Untapped for people coming to. They would come to Yard House and be like, "Oh fuck, I can knock out a lot of shit off of this thing." You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And so they would come in there and they do that.
Oh,
But
for
I
sure.
never- I'm
You
gonna
guys
bang
have
out
so
like
many
5
beers.
right now.
So from a consumer side of Untapped,
Yeah.
it's cool, right?
Yeah.
It's like the cool thing, like you said, it's like Pokemon. You could go in,
Right.
You can fucking like check off the ones that you've had. You know, if there's some like a limited release, now you've got that like badge of like having that one limited release that was only released back in 2000. Yeah, right,
Right.
But from a business standpoint, because I've looked into it,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? This would be awesome to kind of like boost our, because the beers that I bring in at Mahi's with our 24 different flavors that we have is different, and I have some limited release things that I can bring in. I have some room for rotation. now I reached out to them from a business standpoint, and I was like, "Fuck you guys," you know? Yeah, I mean, well, you know, so they've
kind of how Yelp is for restaurants.
Well, I mean, it's they took the same. They took,
God, that
yeah, they
on
took the same